I took my hiatus to prepare for the new season of Up From the Underground, I actually took a good look at the world around me. There were some great things that happened, but then there were some not great things that have happened. And especially with the fact that we have President Trump starting his next 4 years as our president, I really noticed that we are at a serious crossroads. Sides have been taken, lines have been drawn in the sand, and everybody is really at a major boiling point. And I feel that that is not the way that it needs to be right now. And part of why this is all happening is because of social media. Everybody is focused on what people are saying on YouTube, on Twitter, on Instagram. People are looking at news all over the place. And for a while, when I was growing up, I didn't even want to read a newspaper. And one time my grandmother asked me, how come you don't read the paper? And I said, because when I wake up in the morning, I don't want to be depressed. No news is good news. But especially over the last year, I really have been watching a lot of the news. And I gotta tell you guys, there are days where I wish I never did that and just continued the mentality of just not picking up the newspaper. But we gotta turn the negative into a positive, everybody. We just have to get off of YouTube once in a while, get off of social media, and if we're avid booktubers, just pull your nose out of the book and just go outside and just spend some time with people that you care about. You know, spend time with family, spend time with loved ones, spend time with your significant other. If you haven't found that special someone, you should definitely do that. There are so many ways that people can actually connect right now, and that is where we connect with the things that make us happy and not the things that make us angry or sad. So I'm hoping that some of you who are followers of mine who still haven't met that special someone, I'm rooting for all of you. I'm sure that all of you who are still single will find that person who will be your perfect match. And when you do find that person, you know, hold on to them, keep positive, enjoy their company, and hopefully you will reach the point in time where I am, being married, being happy, and hopefully soon creating a family. I love reading, and I have made so many friends in the BookTube community, but in the past couple of months, BookTube has just become a mess. It's now gotten to the point where some of the most open-minded, kindest booktubers that I have known for my past few years here as part of the YouTube community, they're all fed up, and even they are starting to leave BookTube because they are getting harassed and bullied because of their freedom of thought and freedom of opinion. In September of 2016, a certain video came out, and it pretty much shocked the BookTube community, and I'm certain that a good chunk of you who know me know exactly which video I'm talking about, but when I take a look at where BookTube is now, this video was a match that caused the BookTube powder keg to officially explode. I gotta tell you, it is crazy, and it is a little bit scary, because when this video came out, this was when a lot of buzzwords started being thrown out at certain people who didn't agree with certain people's ways of thinking. There were buzzwords like misogynist, and racist, and xenophobe, ableist, just to name a few. And these were all thrown at people who didn't read that many diverse books, or even authors whose cast of characters weren't considered diverse in terms of a person of color, or a person's sexual orientation, or a person's certain religion. And these people were basically being backed into a corner, waved a finger, and basically said, shame on you. That is not what you're supposed to be doing. You have to do what we tell you to do. So basically, they were book police. These were people that were yelling at other people because they weren't living up to their standards. And it had gotten to the point where we just couldn't take it anymore. Or at least these people couldn't take it anymore. You know? Something happened at the end of last year as a result of all of this. You know, I can't seem to remember what it was. I know that it was very important. Oh yeah! This happened!
I, Donald John Trump, do solemnly swear
And yet, it didn't stop. The fingers kept getting pointed, the hateful tweets and messages and comments kept flowing towards these people, and they kept getting shamed just because of the way that they were and who they were and what they liked to read. But in the past couple of months, specifically when January 2017 came around, my eyes opened wider because of what I saw. These people were starting to take the proverbial red pill, not the one that everybody's talking about in the real world sense, but in the booktube sense. These people were suddenly realizing that booktube is not what it used to be, and this is not what I signed up for. I have seen videos from great, wonderful, sweethearts of booktubers saying that they don't want to be a part of booktube anymore. Or some of them are even saying that booktube has hurt them so much inside that they don't even want to read books anymore. And those who want to become authors don't even want to write anymore because they are afraid of being publicly shamed. And that is a true shame. It had even gotten to the point where some people in the booktube community who I never really had a great conversation with or developed a friendship with, they started to contact me because they knew that I was a helpful person. And they were telling me what's going on. I don't understand this. And I was like, I'm sorry, this is the real world that we're living in right now. And just recently, in the end of February, two major names in the booktube community started making videos that were very much against all of these extremely leftist lunatics, saying, calm down, stop attacking these people. They have the right to do what they want, even if it's offensive, because that's the kind of world that we live in. And the world is not a kind place. You have to understand and appreciate that. And then, one of them specifically, and ironically, two of these three specific videos that I watched, two of these people were the founders of Diversithon. One of them left YouTube because of personal things, and because of the fact that this person just couldn't take it anymore, and I felt really sorry, and I wish that person well. And the other one was just basically saying all of these positive, yet specific kinds of remarks that basically mean, just listen to me, because you're not going in the right direction, and you gotta stop before it eats you alive, and you just become a completely unlikable person. And another person got attacked by another big name in the YouTube community in the comments section, where the current status of BookTube has officially been revealed. BookTube is no longer a place for people who just want to read good books, discuss good books, debate good books. It's now a place for activists. That's what it is. It's a community of activists. That is not the BookTube that I remember. That's not the BookTube that I want to be a part of. So, I'm making this message now specifically that unless we get up and fight back, not in an extremely violent way, but in a way that is rational, in a way that is kind yet firm, and just let them understand that BookTube is a place where you can do whatever you want. Because YouTube is a platform that you can do whatever you want. And if someone doesn't agree with you, that person can kindly say, I don't agree with you. If that's the way it stops in the conversation, then that's great. If you want to have a friendly and rational debate, that's even better. I love things like that. But if you're just going to point a finger, if you are just going to yell, if you're just going to scream, every time you bully, you scorn, you alienate, you shun a booktuber, that's just another possible vote for Donald Trump in 2020. YouTubers out there make videos because it makes them happy. It's because of the fact that they're doing something that they love. I make my videos because I love making my videos. I love to talk about everything pop culture. I love to talk with other YouTubers. I love to analyze things. I love to break things down. I like to have insightful conversations about topics that I enjoy. And that's the key word, I. Because there are YouTubers out there that suddenly explode. Like, their channels just get tons and tons of new subscribers. And it gets to the point where they don't want to admit it sometimes, that it just gets too overwhelming. They can't be up close and personal anymore with their subscribers. They can't really find the time to do the things that they really want to do because they feel that now they have an obligation to listen to their fans and give the fans what they want. And another YouTuber that I want to talk about who just made her own Not a Booktube newbie tag, her name is Leanne, her channel is Leanne Rose, she said it best.
Talk about what you love and what you're interested in. That authenticity is the best way for you to have a great experience with BookTube. Make the shit that you want to make and read the shit that you want to read.
Exactly. You do what you want because it's your channel. The minute you make a video that basically asks your fans and subscribers, what do you want me to do? You have officially lost control of your channel, and it's their channel now, not yours. Because now you basically have to do what they want you to do, and you have to make your channel their own channels. If they want to see certain things done in a certain way, then it's their job to make their own channels and talk about things they want their way. It's as simple as that. You should never let other people control you here, because YouTube is an outlet for people to be themselves, be real, and just feed their passions for everything that they love. I may not have the largest amount of subscribers, although I will be approaching 1,500 very soon, and I would love to do a Q&A for you guys, because I love being real with you guys, and I love being myself, and I love answering your questions, because I know you guys want to get to know me better. And I am actually surprised with the amount of subscribers that I have that I'm still just as up close and personal. I think it's because of the fact that I just kept doing what I love to do. And I also like the fact that I am very diverse with my content. And I like the fact that when things get too overwhelming, I'm always able to find a solution to make my time a little less strenuous and a little less difficult. And that's why after 7 years of doing this, I'm still happy and I still love being on YouTube. So that's the message, guys. If you're a YouTuber, you should be doing what you love, not what they love, because it's not their channel. It's your channel. Keep it, and keep it yours. I know that we all love our channels, and we all love making content. But one of the things that a good chunk of us really can't stand is the technology that is involved. Some people just don't like sitting in front of a camera. Some people absolutely despise editing. And some people who have never made content on their channels before are very nervous about how to actually put together a proper YouTube channel. And it's most of the time because they're afraid of the technology. It can suck. I know. Sometimes the computers like to think for themselves and they don't like to do what we want them to do. But don't be afraid. Just get annoyed. Don't ever be afraid of the technology. Especially with a community like YouTube. If you've never used an editing program, if you've never used a camera, if you've never done anything that involves a certain technological skill, YouTube is the best place to go for information. You can find everything you need on YouTube. Perfect example, when I started working at my current job, there were a couple of things that I didn't know how to do in Excel, and my work as a data analyst acquires a lot of skills involving organization through Excel. So what did I do? I went on to YouTube, and I typed in, how do you do this? How do you do that? How does this work? How does that work? So much information. Same thing when I started using the current editing program that I have for my videos. I went on YouTube, and I learned how to use and embrace the technology. That's all you guys have to do. And you gotta ask people questions. There are people that have reached out to me that never did a live show. There are people that contacted me that wanted to know how I edit so quickly. I give them all the information that I possibly can, but I always tell them, never be afraid. The only way to master it is to get yourself in front of that computer, or however you embrace that technology, and just go and do it hands-on. That's the best way to do it, everybody. So, in time, while technology may still bite, in the end it will probably end up being your best friend. there are some people who have been talking to me, or just in general, I've been looking at their comments on YouTube, I've been looking at their Twitter feeds. They are just talking about how they get followers on Twitter, and then all of a sudden their followers disappear. They get subscribers on YouTube, and their subscribers disappear. Nowadays, with almost every single video that they make, they get at least one thumbs down, and they just don't understand. Am I doing something wrong? Am I not giving my fans what they want to see? Blah, 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 blah. Do you remember what I said to you guys a couple of months ago? Your channel is your channel. These are people that just have nothing better to do with their time. Chances are they're what I like to call basement virgins. These are people that are just miserable, depressed, and the only way to make them feel good is to make other people around them miserable. And I don't even think at the end of the day that that even makes them feel good. Their motto is basically, I'm miserable, no one else is allowed to be happy. So I'm just gonna thumbs down a video. I'm just gonna put a nasty comment. I'm just gonna make someone feel shitty today. And that's the way it is a lot. Everywhere these days, guys. You see it in the political debates. You see it when it comes to movies. You see it in popular culture. There are just people that don't want other people to be happy because they're not happy. And that's why they are haters. And these people are never going to truly be satisfied. And you want to know something? It's not your fault. It's their fault. These are people that are miserable because they don't want to be happy. They make bad life choices. They chose a crappy major in college. They can't find a job. They can't hold down a decent paycheck. They can't make anybody feel good because they can never feel good. They are cancer. And unfortunately, it's not your job to cure them. Don't make them feel good, because they never will. Don't try to change yourself because you think it'll make them happy, because it won't. You are you and they are them. They are shit, you are good. So it's your job to just let them keep hating, because at the end of the day, you're going to be the one that's going to end up feeling good because you know that they mean nothing to you. There's been a lot of people that have been talking about making additional channels next to the one that they already have. Most of them happen to be booktubers. These are people that focus entirely on books on their channel, have created a fan base based on books and books that they review, but they all say that there are other things that make them the people that they are, and they want to venture out by making additional channels to talk about their additional fandoms. And they always ask, what do you all think about making a new channel? And me personally, I don't think that that's the way to go. It's not that it's a bad idea. It's a good idea. But I just feel that it adds so much more of a burden. I believe that variety is an important thing to have on your channel. When you take a look at my channel, which used to just be a place that reviewed movies and television and music in a certain format, because I reviewed those three things all the time, and that was the way I did it. I realized that there was so much more that I could do. Not necessarily change the way that I was on my channel, but just add some more things that make people get an understanding of who I am. So of course, we did the pop reviews. I then decided to review Disney films on their own. I started doing throwback days where I reviewed classical movies and cult classics. I started reviewing movies that I didn't see in the previous year in theaters. I started talking about movies that I absolutely love to talk about. And a whole bunch of other things. Tag videos and Gnome docs and personal self-help and all that. So many other things that make me who I am. And I don't really feel that I am getting any negativity or losing subscribers because of it. And I think that that's the main fear that people have in regards to adding new and different types of content to their channels. I don't think that's a bad thing at all. I think that that's very positive. And the fact that you have everything in one place makes it easier for you to sort it, organize it, and if there's one thing that I have learned, people love playlists, because it gives you the opportunity to binge. So it is so easy for you to put all of your different topics into different types of playlists. And through that, you will gain overall fans, or just fans that like certain things that you do. I have people that just watch my show for the pops, watch my show for the Disney films, watch my show for the 10 for 12. Okay, great! What's wrong with that? Like I said, there's nothing wrong with making multiple channels, but I just feel that having one channel with multiple things on it, it just gives you a better sense of organization and a better sense of knowing who the people that watch your show are, and more importantly, where you see where the views are coming, where the feedback, where the comments are. That also gives you a better understanding of what you're doing that needs improvement. Think about it, because if there are certain people that are watching you and giving you tons of views in a certain area of your channel, but you're lacking in another one, that's where you get to reference the stuff that you're doing extra well to the stuff that's going not so well that you need to focus on and maybe improve, so your overall channel will be accepted by everybody. Now, this is a topic that I've wanted to talk about to you guys for a long time, and it has to do with the monetization of your videos, meaning having ads run on them so you can make a little bit of money on the side. Some people who are big YouTubers use that and are very successful because it is their steady flow of income, as well as Patreon accounts. But some people feel a little bit awkward about it, about putting videos up and making money on them, like they just don't think it feels right. But here's the way that I look at it, guys. You went out there and you decided that you wanted to make a YouTube channel. You purchased a camera. You purchased books for your book hauls. You purchased Funko Pops for your pop hauls. You purchased music, you purchased movies, you purchased so much equipment to give your subscribers the best videos that you can possible, and give them the best content as possible. So why shouldn't you get a little bit of a reward for that? Monetize those videos. Get a little bit back from all of the efforts that you've put into making YouTube videos. Seriously, reap the benefits. This is not money that is coming out of your subscribers' pockets. This is people that are clicking on ads on your videos while they're going to watch your content. So this is basically free money to a certain extent, and considering the fact that you are putting all of this amazing effort into your videos, you know, you don't want to go broke, especially when I hear videos about book buying bans and pop buying bans and every other ban under the sun. So why not try and get a little bit of extra money on the side? No one will hold it against you. I've been monetizing my videos for the last 5 years, and I do get checks from Google, and I'm happy about that because there's nothing wrong with getting a little extra money. That money either goes into savings, it goes into paying bills, or sometimes when I actually have a little bit of extra leeway, I'll actually use it to spend some money on some stuff that I want, and there's no shame in that. So I don't think that there is anything wrong with monetizing your videos, guys, and as they always say in the business world, you gotta spend the money to make the money. This message was going to be something totally different, but then the events of Charlottesville took place, and that was a very horrible thing. But things, unfortunately, have not died down, and I think that things have gotten worse. So to prevent myself from getting any kind of pushback, I thought long and hard about what this video was going to say, and I'm just going to, right now, say what's on my mind. We have reached the crossroads, and after the protests, there were outcries of Nazi blood to be spilled, First Amendment rights being changed to punish hate speech, as well as physical symbols of America's dark points in history being forced to be taken down. As far as I can tell, it's not about statues, it's not about conservatives versus liberals, it's not about Trump supporters versus never-Trumpers, or white supremacist Nazis versus communist Antifa. This aftermath has caused everyone on all sides to be painted with the broadest of brushes. And believe me, I know what it's like, and I know how it feels. This mess is truly all about the fact that no one will talk to each other because no one is apparently allowed to. It is time, and I beg of you all, to get into rooms, virtual and real, and open up a constructive dialogue with the other side. Be willing to listen just as hard as you want to speak. If something offends you, don't you dare end the conversation or blow up in the other person's face. You take a breath, you have a drink of water, and you keep talking. Every time you get offended or hear something that you don't like, you let the other side finish, and then you give your explanation and tell them why you are offended. And you keep doing that until you get your points across and hopefully find a common ground. If that common ground is to agree to disagree, then hopefully you will leave that conversation with mutual respect, because you will leave that conversation a little bit wiser and a little bit more understanding, regardless of where you stand. This is what I've been doing for a while now, way even before the horrible events in Charlottesville that ended up with numerous fatalities. Please say what's on your mind, no matter who you are or where you stand. You shouldn't be afraid to do so if you know who you are. Let's make America and the world human again. Thank you very much for watching, everybody. Put your comments in the box below, and let's discuss. If you want to discuss these major matters that are very important to us all over the world, I'm more than willing to talk to you. I mean, just before I made this speech, I actually had 2 separate conversations with 3 people. One conversation was with 2 people, and one was with another 1 person, and we were on opposing sides. I was actually on a 2-to-1 battle, and that's because of the fact that I have found myself to be more of a conservative mind, somewhere close to maybe even centrist. But most of the time I try to find myself to be neutral, but sometimes it doesn't work. And either way, I feel that it is important to engage in conversations with people that I agree with and people that I disagree with, because it's just going to make things get better. It's going to ease tensions. If you're not doing that, then you're truly doing something wrong. When you mention a YouTuber, when you participate in a tag, when you participate in a collaboration, it is always important to make sure that those links are there. You want to let everybody know where you have gotten your inspiration or where you got tagged, and just give people the opportunity to see other amazing artists here on YouTube. There are people that do forget to put their links up, and I always like to give everybody a friendly reminder saying the links need to go up, because when you do something that is, of course, accredited to another person on YouTube, and you do not provide the link of the original video or the channel or the content, there could be a chance that you could get some serious backlash, and someone is going to say that you are just very disrespectful. The environment that we're living in right now, it's very hot-tempered sometimes here, and we don't want to have any more infighting than we already have. So when you do something that is connected to another series of YouTubers or just one YouTuber, always remember to put those links, because it is going to only strengthen the community, bring positivity, and just make each and every one of our own YouTube experiences a little bit more exciting, happier, and fun. Why are we here? Why do we make our content? Why do we keep making these YouTube videos? Is it about the people that are watching these videos? Is it about just wanting to find your place in life? Or is it just about wanting to talk to people like you about what you love to talk about? The truth is, there is no answer. You do what you do here on YouTube because you are your own person and you want to do whatever it is that makes you happy. Your intentions on YouTube can be totally different than mine, and there's nothing wrong with that. You want to just make videos and not respond to people? Fine, it makes you feel good. That's great. You want to constantly engage with other people and collab with other people? That's great too. If you just want to be the fly on the wall and listen to what other people have to say, there's nothing wrong with that. YouTube is a place where we can be ourselves if we choose to, and I like to be myself. I really don't like to be something that I'm not, but there are some people that do, and you know something? This is what they choose to do, this is why they're here, this is what they want to do. It's not about being the same as everybody else. It's about being your own unique and relevant voice. When someone is always wondering, why am I constantly making content on things that so many other people are doing? Like, why am I reviewing this one book after 50,000 people have already reviewed this book? Why am I reviewing this movie if 20,000 people have already reviewed it for all the world to see? You do it because you're doing this for yourself. You have your own thoughts, you have your own peace of mind, you have something relevant to contribute, and that's the truth. There is no shame in saying what you want to say, and if people disagree with you, well, you know something, that's their own problem. They want to pitch fits, they want to complain about you, let them complain because you know you're doing nothing wrong. If you are doing something wrong, then you have the intentions to do so the minute you hit that record button. But you should not be ashamed of who you are and what you are bringing to people who are watching your channel. We are here because we want to be who we want to be and do what we want to do here on YouTube. We're gonna go back to August and September of this year. I really had a little bit of a slowdown. Not that I had any issues with making content, I made great content, but in regards to going out to the theaters to see movies in those 2 months, there really wasn't much in terms of anything new, nothing that I was really interested in, and the same could be said about a lot of other things that are current that I like to bring to you guys in terms of reviews. There was just nothing there. And through that time period, I was doing a lot of thinking. And one of the few things that I did notice was this year, while it was a great year, I had one of my best years here on YouTube, I want to make that clear, it was also a very strenuous year. I mean, even though my wedding was officially done with, and this was basically our first year as a married couple, my wife and I found myself being very, very stressed out. Work was great though, life was great, but there were just so many things to do, so little time to do them. I had been coming home feeling so tired from my commute, because that's the one thing I can't stand about my job. The commute is terrible. And I basically decided that I didn't want to record videos during the week, so I pushed everything to the weekends. Recording, editing, what have you. Everything was done on the weekends. And even though it definitely was a positive thing for my mental health, I was still finding myself to be extremely stressed out. So today, with a little bit of a heavy heart, this is going to be the start of my semi-retirement from YouTube. Now, please, don't be upset, do not freak out, because there's a lot to unpack in regards to what I mean by that. I am not going to be leaving YouTube entirely. It is impossible for me to do that. Community is very important to me. I love talking to people. I love commenting on people's videos. I have been so happy with all the friendships that I've built, specifically over the last year. It's been so positive. I've been working with so many different people on projects, and just being able to just be casual and be friends with fellow YouTubers and find such common ground and things to talk about with one another, and it's just wonderful to be real friends with all of these people. This is going to be my 8th year, 2018, and it's gonna be almost a decade since I started my channel back in 2011. That's amazing. But I see the end of this road arriving. I can see it, and I feel that it's soon going to be time to go on the next road and start the next adventure. Pretty much the next 3 years are going to be life-changing years for the positive. With my fingers crossed, my wife and I are looking to buy a house. We're hoping to make a purchase by 2019 and move in and get settled, which is wonderful. And if things keep going in that direction, then YouTube is something that I feel is going to have to be secondary, because my main focus and my main goals are going to be becoming a father. My wife and I know that once we have a home, we want to start a family. And children are your main priority when you have them, especially when they're kids. My 2 siblings have children, and I've seen how their personal endeavors have taken a backseat because of their children. They care for them, they love them, and they're leading happy lives. And that is something that I feel that when it comes for me, I want to focus on that 110%. I'm not going to be able to go out and see 30 to 40 movies a year. It's impossible, because the child comes first, or the children come first. I could have twins, I don't know, but I want to be a good father. I want to be a supportive parent. I want to be a supportive husband to my wife when she's taking care of the child or children, and of course I will help. But YouTube is something that, as much as I am grateful for it, fatherhood is going to be my main priority, and just making my family happy is going to be what I care about the most. My goal is to be a constant content producer for 10 years, which means I would like to keep doing what I'm doing until 2020. So we still have a lot of time. And it's not a bad thing to say that I have been making constant content for a decade. That's very impressive. If I feel that I'm getting too stressed, you guys will know, and I'll take a break. But the next 3 years are going to be probably my most exciting, my most challenging, but definitely my most fulfilling. This gives me a better focus on what I want these next 3 years to be. The collaborations that I want to do, the people that I want to work with, the projects that I want to complete, the music, movies, and television shows that I want to review before I do my scaling back, my semi-retirement stuff. So here are what the changes are going to be. Up from the Underground, which is sort of like a television show. You know, it had my season premiere with my 30 anticipated films, my Oscar snubs, and I cap it all off with an end-of-the-year best of the best kind of thing. 2020 will be my last season. I feel that instead of making 5 to 7 videos a week, I'm going to scale it back to 3 to 4 videos a month. And all of these individual reviews of movies, music, television shows, books, those will all be condensed into a brief wrap-up. I think what I may consider doing is going back to my Amazon account and doing full-on in-depth reviews for Amazon, so I will definitely provide links for my Amazon account so you can take a look at the products that I've reviewed, but I would also be more than willing to do live show reviews with other YouTubers, because those are very easy to do. Fandom feature, I'm seriously thinking about keeping that alive for a few more years, just because it's so new, and it's something that I can still do a lot more with, especially because of the fact that these are movies that I review that I could just pull off on my shelf and watch and review. But we'll see what happens in the next 3 years and how many movies I actually review. I may consider reviewing some television shows as well, but we will see where that goes. DCAU updates will be finished. I am going to be finishing my Gnome docs after 10 years, so 2020 will be the last one, and it will be something that I think most people are very excited for, because people have been requesting it, and I will definitely give you guys some insight as to what's going to be happening. But I've already planned out the last 3 Gnome docs, and I think you're all going to be happy with what I have to offer. Out of the Vault, which is one of my most popular segments on my show, in which I talk about the magic of Disney once a month. Animated classics, Pixar films, Studio Ghibli films, that's gonna stay. Just want to let everybody know that. And that's because of the fact that by 2020, I will probably be out of stuff to review, because I'm doing this once a month. So that basically means when a new Pixar film comes around, if a new Studio Ghibli film comes around, I know that they're trying to reopen the doors to the studio again. When a new Disney classic comes around, I'm definitely going to go see those movies in theaters. So it's going to be impossible for me not to do a review for you guys in regards to Disney animation. So these won't be as frequent. They obviously won't be once a month by then, but it's still going to be going because I love it so much. You love it so much. It's impossible for me to say no to Out of the Vault. Pop updates? I'm going to keep making pop updates until Funko decides they don't want to make pops anymore. Plain and simple. 10 for 12, still up in the air about it. Friday 5, I'm going to step away. Great film throwbacks, I'm going to step away. One that got away, I'm going to step away. Those are things that just involve a lot of attention. You have to constantly be on top of it, and obviously you need to make time to see all of these movies and review all this music. It's just something that I don't see myself being able to do, especially if I am going to be a father by then. This is not a goodbye. I will still watch your videos. I will still be very active on Twitter, and I will still comment, and more importantly, I am more than willing to stick around and help. That's one of the few things that makes me feel so wonderful. While I may be making 3 to 4 videos a month after 2020, I will still be very active, and I will still be your friendly neighborhood lawn gnome that you can come to for anything. You want to talk, you want to do live shows, you want to do interviews, you want to just talk to me on Skype, you want to talk to me in the DM box on Twitter. I'm not going anywhere. I am still going to be here. I'm still going to be an active community member. I just won't be doing a lot of stuff on my end in terms of video production. But I will be here. The lawn gnome is still here to stay, just in a different state of capacity. Hey, thank you so much for stopping by my channel today. If you're new here and want to see more of what my channel has to offer, please click on the link to my last video, or hit that subscribe button to be kept up to date with all of my uploads. Content of all sorts is posted here quite often, so trust me, you do not want to fall behind. I will see you in the comments, and actions speak louder than words.